What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Andy, the Electric Geek, and in this video we have episode 6 of the forecast. So we're going to be covering every 4K Blu-ray that's coming out in the UK in the month of July. So that's from tomorrow, basically. If you come here for the first time, I've got a few of them. You'll find the playlist down in the description. I started it back in January. But yeah, the channel basically covers 4K Blu-ray. I do reviews, I do unboxings, I do tech, and I'm doing a little bit of gaming in the future as well. So if that's things that you're into, then please consider subscribing to the channel and share the video also to like-minded people so we can grow the community. But let's not mess about. I'm struggling to get this forecast in, but I don't want to let you down. So let's not mess about and let's get straight into it. So first up we have Tim Burton's classic Batman films, Batman 89 and of course Batman Returns. These are coming as Ultimate Collector's Editions from Warner Bros. And you can pick them up for $39.99. I believe there's absolutely no change with regards to the picture quality, the transfer or anything, and there won't be any additional special features. So if you have the kind of vanilla versions, which I do, well, I've got Titans Got Batman, but it'll be the same discs, so you won't miss anything out. So it's really just for super fans, or if you've not picked them up yet, then it's a great time to get these collector's editions. So you can pick them up, as I say, on Monday for 40 quid. And another re-release that's coming out, and that is the 90s classic Tremors. I've never actually seen Tremors, believe it or not. I started watching it one night, but I just couldn't get through it. I think I must have been too tired, fell asleep or something. So it's one I definitely need to check out. But there's already been a cracking Arrow release of Tremors. I see it in CX all the time. But this is a Arrow steelbook that's coming exclusive to Zavvi, I believe, and you can pick it up for $29.99. So if you're a Tremors super fan and you love steelbooks, then you can get this steelbook. Or if you just haven't picked it up, similar to Batman, you can jump in. This is a good time to do it if you're into your steelbook. So Tremors coming on the 4th of July also. Then on to Monday, the 11th of July, and staying on the re-releases, we have 1984's classic Indiana Jones movie, Temple of Doom. This is one of my favourite Indiana Jones films. It's the only one I had in VHS growing up as a kid, recorded off the telly. So it's absolutely ingrained in my mind. I didn't even know the other two existed. But yeah, it's coming out as a steelbook release. Paramount is re-releasing them. And it's quite annoying because I have the white ones. They can just see them keeking in the shot. But I got these for an absolute steal, but annoyingly, they're just poor design. But I paid 40 odd quid for them, so £10 steelbook's fine for all four. But the design is pretty basic. I'll just show you what Temple of Doom looks like. So there's a Temple of Doom. It's not bad. It's just not. I think the classic artwork is much better. You know, the artwork that's on this new release. So you can get that new release for $24.99. If you haven't got these, then I would suggest getting these ones that are being released. I think it's every like fortnight or every month or something. Raiders came out last month. But yeah, again, there won't be anything special on them. It's just that the artwork's much nicer, and they are the nicer steelbooks in my opinion. So you can get that, as I say, on the 11th of July. And then finally on to a new release though. So the same day, you can also pick up Nicolas Cage's latest movie, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Now, I've not seen this. I really fancy it. The trailer looked really, really good. I don't think I'll pick up the 4K because just in general, I'm absolutely skinting out and I'm really trying to reel in my savings. So I won't be picking any 4Ks up this month, I don't think, unless it's like budget second-hand ones. But I will, of course, give my recommendations at the end of the video, as I always do. But this looks pretty cool. You can get the standard release for $24.99, as is usually the case. And then there's also this cool Lionsgate steelbook that's coming out. Lionsgate do awesome steelbooks. They kind of initially were punting them in the US, but I've noticed them starting to re-release some of their really popular ones in America here, which is really good for UK Blu-ray collectors. I've got two actually, American Psycho and Hurt Locker. I'll show you that later on. But they're really cool because they come with these like hard plastic slips, which they kind of incorporate into the design as an overlay, but they also act as a good protector for the steelbooks. So really cool, and I think the artwork's really nice on this release. You know, all the different characters that Nicolas Cage has played, the kind of floating heads. I think that's really, really cool. So I don't know, I might get that steelbook at some point. I'll wait until I've seen the film, but yeah, you can pick that up on the 11th. And then on the 18th of July, we have an absolute ream of releases. So this is the week that could potentially be a sore one for some people if you're into all these films. So first up, we have an Arrow 4K release of Tenebrae. Now this is a Dario Argento movie. I've not seen any of his films. I really need to get on them. I just haven't had the chance. But as I'm doing these forecasts, I keep seeing more and more of them getting released. Horror's not really my bag, but I definitely need to check them out. There's just far too many of them getting released. They must be good. There must be something in it. But yeah, you can pick that up, and it's coming as the usual, you know, all singing, all dancing box set from Arrow or the standard release. The box sets are usually around $34.99. And the standard, I imagine, will be your typical kind of $24.99. I believe it's coming in Dolby Vision, and of course there'll be a ream of all the usual cracking features that Arrow spoilers with on their releases, so 10 of it definitely worth picking up. Then we have a first time release on 4K of Red Sonja, so good news for Arnie fans and Bridget Nielsen fans. But yeah, Arnie and Bridget Nielsen doing the whole franchise crossover before it was even a thing back in 1985. I've seen this donkeys ago, I can't remember anything about it. Don't think I'll be getting it in 4K, but great news for Arnie fans or, you know, fans of the 80s. So you can get that on the 18th also. And then similar to last month, we have a Doctor Who release, and it's getting the steelbook version, which I think is $29.99, and they're all singing, all dancing, big like Doctor Who fan collector's box set, which I think is $59.99. Steelbook art's really cool. I know nothing about Doctor Who. I was never been into it. I've not even watched the modern stuff. But yeah, you can get Daleks Invasion Earth 2159, is it? From 1969 on 4K. I think it's great news. There's obviously loads of Doctor Who fans out there, so a cool steelbook release and collector's release for Doctor Who fans. But your big kind of blockbuster releases, certainly of the month, arguably, are of course Robert Eggers' The Northman. I seen this in the cinema, tricked the wife into going to see it. She wasn't best pleased, although she did kind of enjoy it in the end. But 20 minutes in, she turned to me and she said, "This is the worst movie I have ever watched." True story. Anyway, so HMV are getting an exclusive sign edition version, which I think is $29.99, so only a £5 more than the standard version. I really liked it. It's a film I'd like to watch again. I wasn't absolutely blown away, but I did enjoy it, and I think it's one that will look very cinematic and probably look cracking on 4K. There's a lot of dark scenes in it, so the HDR will no doubt bring out that shadow detail really, really nicely. So yeah, you can get The Northman, as I say, on the 18th of July. The next big tentpole release, or should we say like franchise release, is of course Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Just about got that out there. So this is already out on Disney Plus. Really pisses me off, to be honest, that they do that. I don't know why they can't at least give the physical, like for their own sake, why can't they just put it out 2 weeks ahead of the stream? I don't get why the physical release comes 2 weeks after. They're kind of doing their own legs there a bit. Give the people that buy the collector's editions that little bit of exclusivity, you know, getting the 2 weeks before it goes to Disney Plus. But anyway, me sitting here saying that's not going to change anything, so we'll move on. But yeah, I'm not impressed with the steelbook you can get here. I believe it's $32.99 from Zavvi, and there's a really overpriced collector edition, which it does come with a booklet, I think, but it seems, I think, $49.99 is it, or $59.99? I think that's pretty overpriced for what it is, to be honest, and I don't think the steelbook design's all that cool. I don't think I'll pick this one up. I don't know if I'm going to pick up MCU titles, to be honest, going forward, post Endgame, but I will say I've had a look at it on Disney Plus, and the IMAX enhanced Dolby Vision and Atmos is absolutely fantastic. It's proper reference if you like that kind of 4K crispy typical Marvel look. It's really, really worth checking out if you haven't done so already. But yeah, you can get that on the 18th of July. Then lastly, just a quick mention, Warner Bros are releasing, similar to my Mad Max one, you can just see behind me, they're releasing the Matrix Deja Vu collection. So that's going to be all 4 Matrix films in steelbook format in that really cool case that Warner Bros did. I think they've done it for the Monsterverse as well, you know, the Godzilla collection, and a few others that are escaping me just now. But yeah, bomb-proof. I've done an unboxing of Mad Max. You can check out the channel, you'll see how sturdy that box set is. And I must say, it does look pretty cool. I've got Titans Occult Matrix, I haven't picked up the rest yet, and I don't think I'll ever pick up Resurrections, because I was in the camp of that film. It's just shit. It wasn't needed. Personally, I don't get it. So not something I'll be picking up, but you can pick it up for £100. On to the 25th of July, and again, good few releases coming out, some notable older ones and some new releases. So starting off with the new ones, we have The Lost City. That's a Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum movie. I remember it being plastered everywhere on buses. It was getting like advertised and pushed quite heavily on TV and stuff, but it just didn't grip me. It seemed like it's kind of like an old 90s movie. I don't know if that's what they're going for with it. I know Brad Pitt makes a cameo in it, and I think Daniel Radcliffe's in it as well. But yeah, maybe check it out at some point. I'll definitely not be buying it on physical, but I don't know much about it. You can let me know in the comments if you've seen it, what you thought of it. But you can get that for $24.99. It's a Paramount release, and I noticed Paramount are starting to ditch the Blu-ray, but not necessarily dropping the price, which I think is a bit of a con. But yeah, you can get The Lost City on the 25th, but it only comes with the 4K disc. Then we have The Hurt Locker. Now I actually have a wee prop for this. So the Hut Locker is already out in the UK, but we're now getting this really cool Lionsgate steelbook. Now this is pretty much exactly what it looked like. It's awesome. I got it imported in from America. So mine is region A, or at least the Blu-ray is region A. But like I was saying earlier, you get the transparent slip, which they incorporate into the design. But the actual design of the steelbook is just awesome. I'm getting deja vu here. I think I might have done this on the last one. But yeah, I'm going to do it again. So it's the attention to detail. The Lionsgate ones, you know, the design on the disc art, and they're just beautiful. So they've probably cottoned on to the fact people are ordering them in from the UK, and they thought, let's just release them. So I'm a little bit miffed because I thought I had this, you know, I thought this was a nice cool collector's piece because it was American, and now people can just go and buy it in the UK if they want it. But I'm glad for folk that can do that. But yeah, it's still a bit annoying because I thought I had something special, but I suppose it's still special, but it's just not kind of as exclusive. But yeah, that's the Hut Locker. Not watched it yet, actually, but it's just a minted steelbook anyway, even if I don't get around to watching it. But yeah, you can get that for $34.99, I believe. And then another release is Volume 2 of Future Boy Conan. This is a Japanese anime series from the 70s. I've covered part 1 in an earlier forecast, so they're obviously bringing out part 2. I believe it's $59.99, so I'm assuming there's a lot of episodes on there, because that's quite a lot of money for an animated TV show on 4K, which I would imagine will be pretty niche at that. But yeah, you can get that on the 25th also. And then probably the biggest new release of that week is, of course, Fantastic Beasts. And then probably the biggest new release of that month is, of course, Fantastic Beasts, Secrets of Dumbledore. God, that's about the 10th take of that. Anyway, moving on. I have watched all the Harry Potter films. My wife is right into them, watched them all with her, and I just enjoyed them. You know, I don't really need to revisit them again. I'll probably will with my girls as they get older. I can see that being a kind of family thing. But I went to see the first Fantastic Beasts with my wife, and it was just totally meh. I appreciated the Harry Potter ones. I did quite enjoy them, but that first Fantastic Beasts just right over my head. And I think I seen the second one as well, and I thought it was even worse. Just not for me. So I probably won't be watching Secrets of Dumbledore. But if you're into Harry Potter and the Fantastic Beasts franchise, you can get it on the 25th. Getting it as a steelbook, and of course the standard slip. So I'm not sure if that's 4K native. That one might be a 2K upscale, just because I imagine it'll be heavy on the old special effects. So it might be a 2K DI, but no doubt look good. So as I say, yeah, you can get that on the 25th. But then one for maybe the older collectors out there and the cinephiles, that's a big release this week, and it's coming from BFI, and that is, of course, the 1970s British crime thriller Get Carter. Now, I've seen Get Carter and the shitey Stallone one. I've seen the Michael Caine one, and I do remember really enjoying it when I watched it. I watched it when I was quite young. I think it might have been my Blockbuster days when I was like in my early 20s, and I enjoyed it. But I'd like to revisit it, especially now that it's had the 4K treatment. I've scanned the original negative, so it's 4K. I think it's Dolby Vision, and it's got a ream of special features on it. I think it's available. Is it only available as a box set? Don't quote me on that, but you can definitely get it as a box set, and it's got some really cool stuff in it. You know, art cards, the original artwork poster, and kind of newer, more contemporary artwork on it. And I think there's a booklet in there as well. But they've done loads of like new commentaries. They've got the old legacy ones on it, and they've got the new commentaries, new interviews. I think there's even a featurette, or it might be the book actually. I think Mark Kermode has an input in some way, shape or form, whether it's in the booklet or on one of the features. But yeah, loads of stuff there. So if you're a fan of Get Carter, you're really being spoiled with this box set, the looks of it, and it's one I might keep my eye on and see if it goes down in price and snag it further down the line. And then lastly, to round out, on the 26th of July, so the day after, which will be a big one for cult collectors, I think, is Second Sight's release of Dog Soldiers. Now, this is a Neil Marshall film that has kind of cult status about, I think it's reserve soldiers that are in the Scottish Highlands, and they come across a kind of botched or murdered SAS, and they quickly realise it's because they're being hunted by werewolves. Sorry if that's a spoiler for anyone, but I think it's pretty obvious looking at the cover what the score is with Dog Soldiers. But I've never actually seen it. I haven't actually seen many Neil Marshall's films. I should see this, especially that I used to be an army reservist myself, so there's that connection. But I definitely would like to watch this. It's obviously been restored in 4K. I think it might be Dolby Vision also, and has loads of new features on it also. So cracking box set for Dog Soldiers. If there's any fans of it, if anyone wants to berate me for having not seen it, then please feel free in the comments. But yeah, I definitely will watch Dog Soldiers, and I might pick up the vanilla version of this. We'll see. I can definitely, I can see myself, I can look into the future and I can see myself getting Dog Soldiers in 4K. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it for July's forecast. As I say, my picks for July would probably be, in no particular order, Dog Soldiers, because it's fresh in my memory. Get Carter, looks like a cracking box set. And of the more kind of modern, big box office releases, I'd probably be tempted to go for that sign edition of The Northman. But as always, I like speaking to you in the comments. I like to know what you guys, the subscribers, are into, what you guys are picking up. Gives me a little bit of feedback. But yeah, let me know what you're picking up in the month of July. Did you have anything pre-ordered? And I'll get back to you in the comments. That's it for this one, guys. My next video is hopefully quite an interesting one and something new for me getting out and about. It's a kind of Blu-ray hunt, but more so it's actually an interview with one of the few remaining video rental guys in the UK who just happens to be based in Ayr and is within half a mile of my house. So the owner, Colin, was very kind to lend me some of his time, and we've recorded a wee interview about how he survived in the industry, and then I kind of finish it up with a bit of a Blu-ray hunt. So if you're into that, if you're into retro and you remember Blockworth and all that fondly, then definitely check out next week's video. But thanks for checking out this one. Until then, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.